Donald Trump, according to the federal government, decided to hold onto nuclear weapons technology documents, highly classified, and here it is.
31 counts of willful retention of national defense information, 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice, 1 count of withholding a document or a record, 1 count of corruptly concealing a document or record, 1 count of concealing a document in a federal investigation, 1 count of scheme to conceal, 1 count of false statements and representations, 2 counts of false statements and representations. That's the list of counts. This is well more than 30 counts. And as we were on the air last night, sources telling us that the Trump team was aware of at least 7 counts, at least a range of 7 areas of charges. Now that this indictment has been unsealed, we see this as far more extensive in its nature.
Far more extensive in its nature. I'm going to break all of this down. I need to remind everyone, Donald Trump is not being charged with possessing classified documents. That could have been part of the charging docket. It was not. The possession has nothing to do with the charges you see. It is his handling beyond the possession. It is his willful intent beyond having the documents. Bolton, who was the national security advisor for President Trump and also ambassador to the UN, Bolton, a man who has not met a brown country he did not want to bomb, had this to say about Trump's why.
Why would the president take these? There's a lot of theories out there as to why he would want these documents. You were with him, you saw him in action at a very close level. Why do you think? What was the intent here?
Well, I'm not sure I can give you a good answer, but I would say this. Throughout my 17 months there, it's perfectly clear that Donald Trump addressed almost everything that came before him through the prism of the question, how does this benefit Donald Trump?
He went on to say that the Republican Party should send out an email to every member with the indictment, just the wording. Provide no context or commentary. Just let people read it. I need to remind those who are Trump supporters. While you can come after Jack Smith and discuss how the DOJ targets, and on a major level, I don't disagree with you. These elements are involved inside of law enforcement agencies throughout the country. We've been telling you this for decades. But it's not Jack Smith who did the indicting. It was a grand jury. Citizens of this nation. If Trump is convicted via trial, it will not be a judge or a prosecutor. It will be citizens based on the constitutional mandate of due process. Let's get into it. After more than a year-long federal investigation, the public is now learning stunning, detailed allegations about the classified documents prosecutors say were found at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate and how they were handled. In a 49-page indictment unsealed Friday, prosecutors allege Trump had in his possession documents concerning the nuclear programs. That means we have more than one of the United States, among other sensitive defense information. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Special counsel Jack Smith said in a brief statement after the indictment's release, violations of those laws put our country at risk. According to the indictment, Trump had stored in boxes information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries. United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the US and its allies to military attack, and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. Why would he keep these things? The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of United States military and human sources and continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. The indictment reads, Trump retained documents from multiple agencies, not just one. Prosecutors alleged, including the CIA, DOD, NSA, and the Department of Energy. Secret. This is secret information. Trump told them, the indictment said, which means they had him under surveillance. ABC News previously reported investigators were in possession of an audio recording from inside the golf course complex showing Trump acknowledged he was in possession of a sensitive document, and that he couldn't declassify it now that he was out of office, which is contrary to his proclaimed defense. According to sources, Trump said the document was about attacking Iran. There's more. In another instance, a few months later, according to prosecutors, the former president of the United States shared a classified map related to an ongoing military operation, current military operation, to a representative of a political action committee. This is a special interest group that did not have a security clearance. They did not have a need to know classified information clearance about the military operation. There's more. Trump is due in court in Miami today. We will bring you that update live. To answer a 37-count indictment that alleges he willfully retained classified documents after he left office and refused to return them. His appearance will be an earth-shaking and even tragic moment in the history of a republic that has endured for more than 2 centuries. After being founded on the principle that no leader has absolute power or should be above laws that apply to the citizens. So let me break it down this way. For those of you who are still Trump supporters, politicians, people, doesn't matter. Understand what you are supporting. You are supporting an individual who is not only antithetical to the government, but adversarial to the very military that you proclaim to support. Now, I have my thoughts about military operations, of course. I'm not a guy who's for war, but I definitely understand the narrative from the right as it relates to not having to agree with the war to still support the warrior. We don't support warriors in this nation. They go overseas, they fight, they get injured, they have illnesses. All of a sudden, we have no money for them. We have significantly degraded medical opportunity for them to have remedy for their illness, their injury. This man, according to the government's narrative, and I'm sure recordings are available during trial, this man put soldiers at risk. So if you support him, you support that action. If you support Trump still, you absolutely support treason. He has been charged under the Espionage Act, and it fits. The reason why the Satan and others have jumped into this race is because they do not believe Trump will make it through the Republican primary, and they may be correct. Trump is still going to try his best to rip this nation apart in the process of being prosecuted, not persecuted. All right, Sharon, he did turn himself in today, according to the latest update. He has been arrested, was put in custody, and likely released pretty quickly. But Donald Trump is now a former president being prosecuted actively by the federal government. Thoughts?
It's a historic day for sure, but they waited too long to take him out. They waited too long to take him out, Dr. Richey. Listening to you chronicle what they have on him, I'm more convinced than ever that the Secret Service has to be among the people who dropped a dime on him, okay? Yeah. They just have too much stuff. And the buffoonery that some people are getting behind when he showed it to people who are in lockstep with the pillow guy and Carrie Lake. I mean, those are the kind of people you're describing that he probably showed this highly sensitive killer information to.
Yeah.
It's sick, it's disgusting. And to hear John Bolton describe Donald Trump, just quickly, as someone who didn't make any move unless it considered himself. Well, that's you, John Bolton and Bill Barr, okay? That's you, that's how you ended up there. Chris Christie, It's just maddening, all of it.
All of them are hypocrites. None of them deserve a hero cookie. John Bolton literally got on Fox News every day to campaign for a job. Defended Donald Trump, right? Got a job. And
Bill Barr's letter.
Right, exactly. They all utilized the ignorance of Trump in order to obtain power and wealth themselves.